There she goes. She's ready to record you guys. You're now on film. All right, guys. So you might know some of these guys. We all did videos back in the day together called CGR. I'm not going to sing the theme song, even though I know some of the lyrics.
Central Game Reviews or something like that. I
yeah,
remember that
actually,
part.
Yeah, the ending. But yeah, so we decided to kind of get back together and give you guys a video, just kind of telling you guys where we're at, all of us in different places. We also all used to do kind of YouTube reviews, mostly games and other stuff. But now we're all in different places, except me. I'm kind of still doing the same stuff, but new stuff too.
Me too.
Yeah. So same but different. So I'm not going to talk too much about myself because you guys obviously are watching and mostly familiar with what I do. So I still do all the video game reviews, comic stuff, and all that. But yeah, let's Robbie go first. So Robbie, what have you been up to in the last? It's been like 10 years or 11 years since those videos.
I am the same girlish or girly sounding nerd, as people like to call me on those videos. Yeah, I'm the same girly nerd from 12 years ago. So I sound pretty much exactly the same. I still say
your voice is deeper than mine.
If
you're the girly boy.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
people call you girly boy.
Well, I actually went back. James knows this. I actually went back like about a week or two ago, and I was watching a lot of CGR stuff, and I was just looking at like the comments in some of the videos, and they'd be like, "Is that Rob's or is that a 12-year-old girl?"
Never look at the comments.
I can finally admit that was me. No,
Your secondary.
I knew it.
I knew it. Yeah, I mean, as far as like the last 12 years, I think a lot of it has just been a lot of like personal growth. You know, I think I've grown a lot just as a person and just figured out what I want for my life and just the direction that I want to go. You know, a lot of experiences here and there with people, places, and things. But I think just as the core, when we're talking about nerd shit, I don't think I've changed. I mean, I still love gaming as much as I did, 12 years ago. And, it's still something that's going really strong for me. I've definitely had years where I've kind of fallen off a little bit, but I always come back to it. And I've realized that particularly last year and this year with COVID, it's still a huge love of mine. And it's something that will probably never fade for me. But yeah, I've realized this over the past few years. Like I've had so many great experiences with gaming, and I've met so many different people, like all of you guys. Where if I was not into this, I wouldn't have been able to meet so many fine people and talk to so many fine people, and have so many great experiences. But yeah, I wouldn't say I've changed in that sense. I would say it's probably gotten stronger, and I've tried to branch out into different things. Like James has definitely helped me get back into comics, and I've tried to branch out and read novels and whatnot. Yeah, I wouldn't really say I've changed too much as a person. I think my vocabulary's definitely gotten bigger and better than it was 12 years ago.
Mine hasn't.
Yeah, you're just still pretty much the same. Yeah, you're the same asshole. Yeah. I'm kidding. I love you. Yeah, not much has changed for me. I'm the same dude. I'm the exact same dude. I still love video games. I still love, the people that video games has showcased to me, people that I've encountered. Yeah, I mean.
So I think probably your hobby stayed the same, but you as a person has grown.
As a person, I have grown like monumentally, most definitely. This is YouTube, so I don't want to get into too much personal, because I could go on forever too about it. But yeah, I would say as a person, I've definitely grown. As a nerd, I've stayed almost virtually the same. Yeah, I'll say that's for me. Yeah, but I have been enjoying getting back into YouTube and doing videos with you. That's something that I realize that I have a passion for, and I like talking about them. I like discussing them, and when it comes to anything about that, I have genuine love for it.
All right, how about you, Justin?
Oh boy. Well, first off, thanks for all that. That was great to hear. It's been a while since I've seen you other than Facebook and stuff. So
Yeah.
awesome stuff. And first off, I just want to say, it's great. You can always tell when you click with people because
Yeah.
even doesn't matter the time that goes by, you get in a group and it's just like bam,
Oh.
bam, bam, bam,
Yep.
things just click, and that's
Right.
immediately what was happening. We've been in this meeting already for way longer than the recording has been going on for, but
Right.
um,
I got to mention Bye Bye Man. I'm really happy about that.
talk
Movie
about
of the
it,
year.
okay? Yeah. Anyway, so a lot's changed. I've gotten married. I have a kid. She's 7 years old. So things have changed. As far as gaming though, I'm kind of the same. Like, I still love it as much as I ever did, if not more. Horror is still a huge thing that I love. I'm also become kind of like a mental health advocate because I deal with panic attacks and anxiety attacks. So I talk about that a lot because it helps people, because a lot of people don't like to talk about it. But it's just the reality of what it is. So that being said, I'm also huge into Western stuff. I always had that passion, but man, I don't know what it was. After I think I went to Afghanistan for a job, some things changed in my mind, and Red Dead Redemption 1 really reminded me of home in Arizona. So it just kind of like it just fueled that more, and now I love that franchise more than I ever did. Um, but yeah, I'm still the same dude, really. I mean, I've lost some hairs, I've gained some gray hairs, probably put on some pounds, but that's just that's just life.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad to be here. It's been great, and this is just the start. So
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, Chris. You got to be the most popular of them because your views. I see like 25,000 views some videos. So
oh yeah,
how's it feel to be
Yeah.
still on top?
I see you sometimes, man. Yeah, like your subscribers and just the views you get on your videos. It's fucking wild.
Yeah. I mean, well, this is the thing. Like, for everybody else that said like their life has changed, but their nerd stuff has stayed the same. Mine's like the exact opposite. My life is going fucking nowhere. But when it got, but the
Took a
nerd
depressing
stuff. But that's fine because the nerd stuff is the
Booming.
best it's ever been. So no, I'm just kidding. But no, like for the most part, my life has been the same. Just doing same old stuff, really. Just having a good time. Good time on the internet. Good time collecting. I guess that's the one thing that's changed. Like now, back then, I had nothing. Now, just tons of games. I can't get rid of them. But when it comes to collecting, I'm huge into that. That's the big that's a big difference with me when it comes to this nerd stuff. But yeah, like YouTube has taken off. I do reactions now. I used to do game reviews and stuff, and I do not because all right, this is the thing. Game reviews and movie reviews are fun. They are, but there's times where it just gets a little redundant, I guess. It is fun, but it's also time consuming.
Yeah.
You have to play the entire game. Most of the time you have to play the entire game. So it's just like, all right, there's a 40-hour RPG. And then when you do it, it's most games are 40 hours nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
and even if they're not RPGs. Like, but yeah, and it's fun, but like reactions are just like a great time. I have a great time doing it. Okay. It's just watching shit. Like nowadays all I do is watch like meme videos. Which I know is like the saddest thing to admit, but I have a great time watching them, and I do them all the time. But I'm still a big movie guy. Like I watch tons of movies. I couldn't wait to get back to theaters after COVID. I mean, it's still around, but like after it started to, die down a little bit. But yeah, no, just having a good time doing the YouTube stuff. In my personal life, I most of the stuff I do to get by is like I sell things online, really. I do other things here and there, but for the most part, yeah, I mean that's really what I do.
he's a superhero.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
a
he
superhero.
is. He doesn't want to tell you, but
I don't want, man. Also, I'm in the I'm all right. This is I'm dropping news right here. I'm in pre-production on the Bye Bye Man 2. I'm doing a thing. I want to break barriers. So Bye Bye Woman. She's coming.
you haven't changed. You're right.
No.
You're the same.
I'm still talking about Bye Bye.
All right.
But,
Well, so you're the same, but just you get a lot
pretty
more
much.
views.
Yeah, pretty much. No,
About what I expected. Yeah.
Actually, what Justin said earlier though about gray hair. I had my first gray hair like 2 months ago.
Me too. Right here.
Oh,
It's the
Right
worst.
here. You can actually see it in my videos. Well,
oh shit.
wait, where's your gray hair?
Well, I think I'm the youngest of all of you, so I think maybe in the next 3 years or so, I'll probably get one. Yeah.
And like it was so shitty because it was in one of my videos. And I'm like, I recorded a video and I didn't notice it after, and I see it in the video. I'm like, it's like so pronounced, like it's right there. Oh yeah.
You know, and speaking of age, I think now you guys are all the age I was when I first met you all. I'm old.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, you were in your 20s when I met you, but it has been a long time. And saying that with our CGR videos, we put them out like literally like 11 years ago. And we basically just got together and recorded on Skype, talked about a game and put up a review. And those were like super fun to do.
They were really fun.
If you want to check them out, they're
those
still
reviews
on
were like,
YouTube.
yeah, those reviews were pretty much like, all right, you guys got like little notes to say. Yeah, all right, let's go. I was like, all right, let's go. We just trash games or praise them. That's
I did want to mention that about 90% of our reviews were trashing games. I think we reviewed like 2 or 3 good games, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, which was not great but good. But most of them were fucking Hellboy. Which I think Justin and I are the only 2 people who played the fucking game that came out. And then there was this game that me and Justin reviewed. I don't even remember the name, but it was like you were in hell, but you had to face angels. And if you fell like 2 feet, you died.
Infernal?
Oh, Damnation.
Yes, Infernal. No, Damnation.
I'm kidding.
Damnation, the classic.
Damnation was the game of the year.
Probably the best review.
Yeah. And so we, that's what it was doing those CGR reviews. I think back then there were a lot of YouTube reviewers coming up, but there wasn't a lot of group YouTube reviewers. It was just like a single person or 1 or 2 people. I think there was a KB, I forget his name, JKB. He had like 3, and that was like different. So they worked, but yeah, I think our reviews were a lot of fun. It got a lot of views. It was a lot of fun to do. And I think the best part was the outtakes, because pretty much we were just fucking around. And just like you said, trashing on games. I would say my favorite, definitely, I mean, I think everybody here, Damnation was one of the most fun to do. But I remember Infernal because it was so bad, and just you going, oh man, you fall 2 feet and you die. It's like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, yeah, that game was horrible. But yeah, do you guys have any that you really remember either doing or just watching back and you're like, wow, that game was horrible?
Yeah, I mean, really, just Damnation is the one, like, because that was the thing. That was probably the worst game I've played ever at that time. Yeah. Well, no. Now, it's hard to say. I have to really think back.
Still really bad.
Yeah, it is really bad. So that was venting. That was not a review. That was just like, all right, I played most of that fucking game, and that game's long. So yeah, it was just it was terrible. So just to be able to just like vent and get that out was really nice. Like it was therapeutic. But and usually I don't have that. Like I still play shit game. I just played the new Addams Family game. Why? Because I have my game file.
I didn't even know they had one.
There's an Addams Family.
Exactly.
Honestly, yeah, there's one. There's no online, sadly, but you 2 should play it somehow. It's great.
No way. I don't even get to play the game.
I will definitely play more bad games than games. I'll definitely play more bad games than James. I think James, like, he very has much of low tolerance, to my understanding these days.
Yeah. For some reason,
I can't play good games.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. I have to play the bad to appreciate the good. But I love playing bad games until I actually start playing them. Then I fucking hate it. So it's just like, I don't know why. Like I'm just attracted to shitty games. I'm just like, all right, I gotta see why it's bad. But anyway, I still think Damnation's one of the worst. So yeah, I love that review. Really.
I was actually watching it recently, and like one of your bits at the end, when we were giving our summary, he's like, all right, if you bought this game, take off your pants, put your dick in the case, and then close it really fast.
Yeah, that review was fun to do, but man, that's definitely one of the worst games. I think it is the worst game I've ever played. up there, at least the top 5. But yeah, it's watching those reviews. It's funny because some of the stuff we say definitely probably can't get away with today.
Cancel culture, absolutely.
The 50 Cent
Oh, yeah.
review in particular.
Oh god.
Oh,
Like
Oh
like
god.
Damnation
that game's
is
fun,
a
too.
bad game that is just completely bad. And you know what? I've played it 3 times to try to just go, you know, man, maybe I was in a
gosh.
different mindset. And then I played again, it's like, no, I can't. And then I played a 3rd time and I was trying and I got the furthest I ever got. And I was like, I can never touch this game again. I
Because
just can never.
it's part Western, so like
Exactly.
kinda.
And that
Yeah, it's
breaks
like
my heart.
sci-fi
It's
That's how
Western.
you got so
bad.
far.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. And so, I mean, there's good bad or like semi-tolerable bad. Like I would say Ride to Hell is a much more enjoyable, funny, bad game than Damnation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, there
because
are
I don't
things in there
remember when playing Damnation there being like a ton of weird glitches and awkward moments. I just remember the story being super dull and the gameplay being horrible and the platforming. I remember platforming being
Yeah.
some of the worst.
Yeah,
It didn't even have a
Bioshock.
cover system. And at a
Yeah.
time when Gears of War had come out, there wasn't
Yeah.
even a cover system in a third-person shooter.
and it told you the cover, which made no
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
So
so you just had to crouch behind
that
shit.
game, man, that was
And you
that
know
was
me,
definitely
I
hard.
don't like to trash on stuff, but I
Yeah.
trash. I go full tilt in that video, so that's why it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, God, Damnation! It's Damnation Game of the Year, Damnation!
It is one of the worst games. But yeah, so definitely we had a lot of fun talking about shitty games. But this year, now that we're all still playing games, everyone here is pretty nerdy. There's a ton of games that came out from since those horrible Damnation days. But this year, a couple of good ones. What's everybody playing lately that you're like, oh, it was amazing, or not even amazing, but it was pretty good. For me, I tried 2 new games. Justin, I know you played both of these. Tales of Arise. I'm at the very, very, very end, final boss. Loving it still. Deathloop. Nope.
Oh no,
Nope.
that's what I'm playing.
I don't like Dishonored. I'll be honest. I don't like that franchise, and I don't like Deathloop because it's just that, but more. And even the aiming is. I hate the aiming in the game. I will say it's funnier. It's way funnier. The opening is hysterical. Where he's just like, "Yo, what the fuck's my name?"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that
what?
guy. That guy is great.
He's
I
so
love that
funny.
actor.
But everything else about that game, it just feels like Dishonored. But then I die and have to go back, and that's a new trend in games. I can't get into Hades. I can't get into this. It's just like I don't
roguelikes.
like these replay shit.
Roblox.
Yeah,
Minecraft.
like it's just the same shit. Like give me a progressive story that I could just go through. Like
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty much the same way in that regard as far
Yeah.
as that feels. Most of those kind of games don't click with me.
Yeah.
Hades, I tried. I thought everything in it was cool, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
and funny enough, with Deathloop, I rented it, and again, I liked the humor and I liked Dishonored, but I didn't like this whole like dying and redoing things and it just I couldn't get into it. So I was just like, maybe I'll try it later.
Yeah.
But it ain't for me.
It's definitely what's the word? Not what am I
Rogue.
looking for?
Rogue
No.
One.
I'm saying it's very like
Particular taste, yeah.
yeah. I guess it depends on people's taste. Yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's very. You go into it knowing that you're gonna have to kill these 8 people because that's the whole thing. You have to kill 8 people in one life, pretty much. I mean, you get 3 chances really, but it's one life and that's it. Like, so it's really I guess it's scary to like go into that thinking, oh, I have to do that. Why I get to the 7th guy and I die? Like, yeah. So I understand. Like, and then you have to do it all over. It was all for nothing. But there is some cool stuff in that game. I really enjoy it. But I could totally understand why some would be like a little threatened by it. But
We've grown as adults. See, we don't say it's a
Yeah.
bad game. It's just it's got a lot of good.
It's not for
qualities.
us.
Didn't
Yeah.
click
Yeah.
for us. You know?
It's fucking trash now.
yeah.
I don't think it's trash or
I love
anything.
it.
It's just like you said. It's a weird game where I can look at it and be like, I get why people love this game. Same thing with Hades. I get it. I just don't understand why it's getting 10 out of 10s. But that's just
Right.
Yeah, I think for me, I have not played Deathloop because I don't own a PS5 yet because if you guys haven't heard, they're a little hard to get. But I have played Hades. I have not finished it. I think I've beaten him twice. I think you have to beat him 3 times to get towards the end of the game. But I really enjoyed Hades. I'm not particularly one that loves like, roguelites. But it's something I have enjoyed. Like I actually really enjoy the story. I think the voice acting is very well done. I really love the art design. It's a very different look on Greek mythology. But I've really enjoyed it for what it is. I will most likely go back to that, but that's been another concurrent thing that's been going on with me like the past 10 years. It's like I'll start a whole bunch of games at once, and then I'll put a good amount of time to each of them, and I'll kind of fall off of it, and I'll just stop playing it one day. But it's not because I don't like it. It's just because I'll play something else, and then I'll eventually go back to it later. But no, I think Hades is very well crafted. I completely understand why people don't like it because it definitely has a big difficulty curve to it. But I think it's very well made. And as someone who's not really the biggest fan of Supergiant's games, I thought it was really well done. But for me, in terms of what I've been playing recently, I actually, due to our Monster Hunter World review yesterday, I went ahead and picked that up on Series X. Because while I do not have a PS5, I do have a Series X. You know, James and I think I think I put over 300 hours into it on PS4. I loved it. Starting it again yesterday, I still love that. I still love that game. I think it's fantastic. Easily my favorite Monster Hunter. I've also been playing actually a lot of DayZ. I actually really like DayZ. I knew you hate it. Yeah, DayZ. It's very much an acquired taste. It's absolutely an acquired taste. But DayZ it's very much a game where you create your own moments, and it definitely has a huge difficulty curve. But I really enjoy it. I think it's it can definitely have its low points. But we've all said, I definitely have an acquired taste for some bad games in some series. And I think DayZ is definitely one of those. As far as like what else, I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm still a big basketball fan, so I'll play NBA 2K every now and then. Yeah, I kind of play a little bit of everything. I've been touching the Master Chief Collection. I've been playing the Infinite Beta. I actually really love Halo Infinite. I think I'm really excited for that. I think it's very well made. I think the changes that they've done to Halo are excellent. I think like we discussed this morning, I think not having campaign co-op at launch is very concerning, as well as like stuff like assassinations and just forge mode. But I think it feels very well. I think it plays very well. It controls really well. And I'm looking forward to that coming out. But yeah, not much else in terms of what I'm currently playing. I'm definitely looking forward to some stuff. But yeah, I would say that's kind of what I'm just touching right now.
Anybody else playing anything good lately?
You guys hear me still?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw, I kind of like switched, like I
Yeah,
went from one thing to
yeah.
another. I uploaded the app so I could see everything. I was like, ta-da! For me, I've been playing a bunch of stuff, but one of the games I recently played that's not getting a lot of talk is In Sound Mind, and it's a first-person psychological horror game, and it was great for me because it kind of goes back to kind of old school like first-person like adventure games. Like remember like how Half-Life had platforming in it and and like puzzles and stuff like that, and it didn't really hold your hand. Well, that's kind of how this game is. It really kind of makes you think, and it's not like super hard. You kind of know what you're supposed to be achieving, but I don't know, it just, to me, it was just completely enthralling game. And I mean, I platinumed it, and I don't platinum a lot of games. Going back on what you said too about Tales of Rise, platinum that game. That game
Oh,
totally
wow,
just,
really?
yeah, that game blew me away. And I mean, I've always been into RPGs, but I don't know, it's something about that one.
Yeah,
Like hooked me,
really good.
But there's just been a lot of cool surprises for me this year. I really loved Little Nightmares too when that came out. Thought that was excellent. I recently played a game called Chernobylite, which I had no expectations on, and it completely like enthralled me. Absolutely. So like I said, I still try to play like the underrated or the ones that aren't being talked about, because there's always a lot of good hidden gems,
Absolutely.
that aren't being focused on. And especially now, man, there's like so many indies that come out every day
So many.
and other things. And it's like, and then people are like, oh man, this AAA game got delayed. And I'm like, who cares? Like, there's
I
so
agree.
much.
Plenty
Go,
of games to play.
go play something else.
Yeah.
I mean, even from when we were playing, years ago, we had lulls and things, but now I swear there is no lulls. Like there's something.
Definitely.
LOL's all right, but there's no
Yeah.
there's no actual like time where you're just like there's nothing to play. And if you feel that way, I feel like, well, your scope of gaming is very limited because
Yeah.
there's so much out there. And I love the whole revival of old school games, retro stuff, and whether it's RPGs or everything. I just feel like we're in this really great ecosystem right now. It's a little concerning sometimes because like the YouTube thing, the market is pretty oversaturated now. So you can see that there's people that make these games and they put their all in it and they don't sell. And it's got to be very disheartening because there's so much out there. And that goes into a whole nother topic of how much is out there as far as content. Like you got games, you got movies, you got all that stuff, music, but now you got content creators, VTubers, Twitch streamers, everything's like vying for, attention. So it's just got to be getting harder and harder for people. But I digress. And the game I'm playing now, I think I'm kind of in a lull. I have a couple of I have things I want to work on, but Alan Wake Remastered's coming out, and I really want to play
I knew
through that
you'd be
again.
excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah, very excited
I
for
can't
that.
wait for it. It's looking really good.
Like fingers crossed that this means Alan Wake 2's in production, and if you played the DLC in Control, there's a big hint that Alan Wake is coming back at the end of it. So that combined with this, I kind of feel like they're prepping people to be like, if you didn't play our game, play it because we're gonna finally continue it. Fingers crossed.
Wouldn't it be great if in this remaster they added a little thing at the end?
Yes, I
Would that be
would.
amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, why put that much effort into it? I mean, I thought it was so funny
Right.
when they showed the video, and I was like, dude, his face now looks like the actor. Whereas
Right.
before it was like, okay, the game character looks nothing like the actor character in
Exactly.
the videos. So
Mhm.
I mean, why put that work in? And then what's the other thing? Oh, Metroid Dread's about to drop too. So I'm kind of trying to keep my plate clean for that. But yeah, I mean, I've been very happy with what's been coming out and is coming out and has come out. I can't complain.
No, I think to kind of echo what you were saying real quick. Yeah, I think the community has changed so much just with Twitch and everything, and how like old YouTubers like ourselves, have kind of like the old guard, if you will, in a way. But yeah, I think it's changed monumentally, just the community and just games in general. And I think one thing I think has been nice is seeing companies like Sony and Microsoft, promoting smaller indie titles.
Especially
like
Microsoft.
Yeah, I
Microsoft's
think
been
Microsoft
in.
is excellent at doing that with
Yeah.
Game Pass. I think Game Pass has been like great for smaller developers.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say it's maybe affected gaming in a way that games probably won't sell as well, but they also have to remember that Microsoft is paying these companies like a huge sum amount of money to put it on Game Pass. So
yeah, before anybody even played the game, they're covered. Which is
exactly.
And I've heard actually that a lot of them have come out and said, no, our game actually still sold great because you get exposure.
Exactly.
You get more
Yeah.
people playing who would never have played it. So
Yeah, but
Yeah,
especially like PlayStation people that don't have Game Pass, obviously they hear it's good because people played it on Xbox. They'll just buy it if it's on PlayStation. They'll buy it there. Steam,
Yeah,
same thing.
I think that's another thing that I've done the past couple of years is I've been giving a lot more attention to indie titles. Like I think I played one in January that came out last year, and it was one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life, Spiritfarer. I thought Spiritfarer was absolutely outstanding. Like it was so perfectly crafted in everything that it did with its art design, its story, everything. Like I enjoyed Spiritfarer so much. It was outstanding, and it's one of the best games I've ever played. And it wasn't from a big AAA studio. Another one is like it came out a few months ago, and I played the hell out of it when it came out. I've kind of fallen off a little bit, but Chivalry 2, having never played the first one, like
Chivalry 2 is a good time.
It's so fucking good, man. Like it's such a good dumb time. But yeah, just smaller titles like that I've tried to give a lot more interest to. So I'll try to pay attention to Game Pass and just see indie titles there, and I try to keep my ear to the ground when it comes to hearing about newer developers and newer titles being developed that are somewhat smaller than big AAA companies.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum a little bit there. It's like I know, Justin, you love these indie games and stuff. I've never been a huge indie game person. I'm not a big like 2D side scroller, which is what a lot of them are, or they're under budget because they're smaller studios. But at the same time, with Gamer Pass, I get to actually try a lot of these. So like I tried that Akuma or whatever, the ninja thing, stealth ninja game that just came out.
Origami.
Oh,
Yeah.
Origami.
Origami, yeah.
I was
Origami's
close.
good. I like
Akaramba.
Origami.
And,
Akaramba.
Oh, caramba.
And it wasn't bad, but it's like I would never buy this. But I played like 2-3 hours. It's like, oh, that's pretty fun. And so I think games like that or Spirit, like I enjoyed that too, but I couldn't get into it much more than maybe about 3 or 4 hours. But it's cool that I can try these games and mention them to other people. Like, I think you'll enjoy this. I didn't, or Hades. I didn't love it, but I told you, like, try it. You're gonna enjoy it, I think. And you were like, yeah, I love this game now. So I think with games like that, I love Gamer Pass. I think it's the next evolution for a lot of people, especially people who can't afford new games at $70. This is why I haven't bought one fucking PS5 game. There's no way I'm dropping $70. I'm just not. But
Yeah.
except Horizon because I'm an idiot. But I will buy that. But
you can technically get the PS4 version. And
yeah.
then
Oh,
get
did
the-
you see that? Someone posted
It's,
that. Like,
it's the last game for Sony. Yeah, that
you
was
can
gonna
get the
the
PS4 version and save $10. This guy's like, how dare you? Why would I save $10 when I want to buy the PS5 disc? I'm like, who gives a fuck? You download everything anyway. No, I keep my disc. It's my disc. I'm like,
It's my disc.
all right, man, relax.
Relax,
But
relax.
yeah, so I think Gamer Pass is great. I haven't bought one PS5 game except Miles, and I bought it on eBay for $24. So I think the way to go is Gamer Pass for a lot of people like me who just can only play like 15 games a year, or they just want to play a lot of sample games, or they like indie games. Like Justin said, there's like a million on there, and I'm just like, and they're not bad. They're just for that, for that type of person. Like Undertale, people love that game. Another game I couldn't get into, but people think it's amazing. And now you can play all these games for $15 a month. I mean, that's ridiculous. So definitely, I think a lot of stuff like that in gaming has changed for the better. Like you said, Twitch kind of ruined the reviews and stuff because everybody just wants to watch someone play the entire game and not play it themselves. I don't
That's
get
my favorite. That's my favorite. I played it. Oh, you did? Yeah, I watched blah blah blah.
Yeah.
35 gamer guy played the whole thing. I know, man.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I get watching someone play a game for a couple hours. I'm like, that's cool. But to watch the whole game and then be like, yeah, I played it. Like, no, you didn't. You watch someone play. You don't experience the game, and so to me, it's just like that's weird. And then, like you said, the VTubers. That's like with the fucking animated faces, right? And they're
that's
like,
a huge thing now.
What the fuck is that? Like, am I
I don't get it.
So
like whenever someone like shares small clips of it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, but I'm like, I've never watched this as like my number one source of.
So that's the thing, right?
Stuff.
Like when you think about it, like Twitch people on Twitch, I want to know who's the people that constantly tip and give money, because I tell you what, I don't give any money to nobody because like it's my money. I'll watch though, and I'll do it. But man, I see these people. It's like
$500.
Yeah. And I'm like,
$1,000.
who? And all I can think is it's just people that are like,
say my name.
Love me. Please say my name. It's weird. It's weird.
So weird.
It's this new craze thing, and I get it. And like the weirdest thing too now is because of how popular it's all become. You have little kids. I have a little kid now, and it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a streamer or a YouTuber, and I'm like I'm not
I want
saying
to be
don't.
ninja.
To be fair, that is a very accomplishable goal.
It is,
Yeah.
but can you imagine, like in the year 3055, we have no more doctors. We have no more lawyers. We have streamers. I don't know. It's just there's got to be a level of realistic thoughts on doing that. And I think anybody that does it, like us or whatever, and didn't do it as a full-time job at one point or do now, whatever, you gotta have something your career or something that you can do while you're doing this. And if it takes off, awesome. I mean, that's what everybody might want to hope for. But to just try to just be like, I'm not going to work because I'm just going to try this. And I know I've known some people, and it's like they're still nowhere. And it's not to say their work isn't good. It's not to say they can't make it, but it's like going to Hollywood trying to be an actor now. It like how that was. It's rare for somebody to have a success story. It's one in a bajillion, So work your hardest and try, but sometimes the cards just have to fall the right way, and no matter how good your stuff is, so it's just the reality of it. But it's a crazy time. I like to see people play games and all that, but I ain't throwing $500 bills at nobody except myself.
Yeah, it is weird. I'll agree with that. it's a new generation. Like you said, I think every few years something new happens. It was the streaming that kind of pushed my stuff down, and then reactions were kind of big. What Chris does, the unboxing thing is still big.
still do that
but
too.
see, I like some of it. I'm not big on boxing as much, but I really like reactions, and I think I like it because I love seeing people happy. I love
Yeah,
seeing people
that's-
react
yeah.
to stuff. It's great.
That's why I love them.
Yeah, and
Because
my
I do them, but I watch them all the time too. Like
They're
I just like,
entertaining because
oh,
you don't know what
Spider-Man
you're gonna
trailer.
get.
yeah,
Exactly.
and I think I see when I watch yours, Chris, I feel it's genuine. Like you watching it, you tell what you think. And my wife started doing them, and she's having a blast doing the horror stuff. And then I watch some other ones like for music. I'm like, this is cool. But then there's ones that are so fake. And it kills
Yeah.
my love because they just are like, whoa, guys,
Yeah,
you see
everything.
this? And I'm like,
Guy walks into a cornfield. Oh, whoa!
yeah.
Like, yeah. Guy walks towards the camera. Oh, like there's a lot of people that
That's
just
some
like
deep corn.
overreact to everything. Yeah,
That's some cornhole in there.
I don't know.
it's just such bullshit. And you know, it's
I mean,
not
I'd
like
probably go oh too if that was the case.
it's just annoying to see, but for the most
Yeah.
part I like stuff like that. But yeah, the VTube I know is really, my friend watches them, and I'm just like, he sent me a clip and I'm just like, I don't get it. Like it's just
weird,
two
man.
girls talking, but they're like bobblehead anime fucking characters, and I'm just like, why wouldn't I just watch anime? Like, why am I watching these guys talk about nothing but cooking? But it's just weird. But I think that's just how life is. You know, we get old, we do something that was big at a time, and then new stuff comes and takes it
Yep.
away.
It's
I'm just-
trendy and trends and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and even it's funny because even going on the reaction stuff, I did one. I don't do reactions a lot. I'd done a few, but the one I did from the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt trailer, it's 31K views on that, and I
Yeah.
didn't promote it or anything.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that's a
my
great
wife
trailer,
put
too.
up a reaction to Chucky, the new trailer. Bam, like 500 views in a night. I'm like, man, I can't get 500 views in like a month, and I put out like I put work into this video.
So here's another
Yeah.
interesting thing, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this yourself, but remember back in the day, if you had a video that went like viral or 300K views or whatever, a lot of times that translated into quite a bit of subscribers
Yeah.
or people following.
Yeah.
Now you can have a video that hits 300K and you don't get like but 2 people following you. Like nobody hits subscribe on that anymore.
Subscriptions don't really matter anymore is the problem. Like most of my view, I'll tell you right here, most of my views are from people that subscribe. Like I get a good amount of people that subscribe that watch. But most of it is just like people that I recognize too, because if you're using your little like YouTube app thing, it tells you who's subscribed and that.
Mhm.
People I recognize that come and watch my videos like that aren't subscribed. I didn't even realize there was people I've watched for years that I never subscribed to, but I always got their stuff in my little like suggestion bar and stuff. Yeah, so like subscriptions don't really matter anymore. I mean, it's great. I like oh I got 49,000 now. That's great, but it's just like most of the time it doesn't really matter.
I wouldn't know because all the videos I watch always tell me don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah,
hit that
it's so
subscribe button and hit
weird.
that little bell.
Yeah, the bell.
Hit that like,
Yeah.
oh, and let me
So-
flash it 5 times on the video up here at the top.
Yeah.
Right there. It's right there. Click it. Click it. Click
Yeah.
it.
I don't. Luckily, I don't do that. That's really
Thank
annoying,
you.
especially
Thank
when
you.
people. Yeah, no problem. Because it's
Bye-bye,
just
man.
no problem. Go see the
Bye-bye,
Bio Man
man.
in theaters 4 years ago, but and probably only for like a weekend. I think. But this video is sponsored by Baba Man. It needs it.
Hey, if they give me money, I'm on it. But
yeah, it's just subscriptions don't really matter that much. I mean, hey, if you have a lot of subscribers, be happy that you do, but they don't matter.
they really don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I put out a video. I've been putting out videos like every day, and
Yeah,
just
I
to
saw.
test the waters. And I'm enjoying it now a lot, but I've lost like 100 subscribers, and my views are still the same. So I'm just like, okay, so it don't matter really, because you guys weren't watching my shit anyway. It's probably people that
Right.
subscribed 12 years ago. Like, this guy's still alive, fuck him, and I'm subscribed. And yeah, I subscribers are cool. I think subscribers matter more for newer people who are just starting to get into it. It helps build up their initial put up a video. But yeah, like you said, Chris, it's kind of just, or Justin, it's like when you put out a video, it matters who not subscribed, and it just catches on.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how some of my videos, I have 2 million views on a video for about top 10 asses in anime. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is what got me famous.
I got
Uh,
I had that video in my suggestions like maybe a few months ago. I was like, wait, that looks familiar, that ass. I'm like, yep, that's James's video.
I thought you were gonna say that's James's ass.
and I put my
Yeah,
ass right
ooh,
up in it. No, but
damn.
it's
Cartoony and
amazing.
everything.
But you put so much work into some videos, and I understand what you're saying, Chris. It's like why you switch to more reaction. It's not as like I finish up my wife's video in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's so nice, and she has a
Yeah,
blast doing it. I
that's
put
fun.
like I enjoy making my reviews still, but the amount of time I put right into script, editing, downloading all the shit, it's like an hour. And I'm just like,
Well, like going back on that, I forgot to mention, we were doing our like, hey, what's different? As some of you might or might not know, I've done like a paranormal show where I go to haunted
Yep.
places, like legit places.
Yeah.
And that takes so much time to
Yeah.
make, edit, and do. And we've gotten lots of good comments, but nobody watches really. I mean, it's like, we put a ton of work in that. We've done it for like 2 years, and and everybody says, oh, it's got a really good flow and setup and all this, but we're not faking anything and we're not doing anything crazy for views. So it's just kind of one of those things like, yeah, it's just stagnant. And that doesn't bother me because I had a blast doing it and I love it. So that's a key component, I think, for anybody making anything, is you got to just do something that you really like and forget the rest, because either it'll come or it won't. But as long as you're having fun doing it, that's what matters. And as far as like the subscribers, I think the thing is it was such a huge focus at the time, especially, and also views, is that people are saying, well, you got to look at your analytics, but your analytics can be super flawed because you'll have 10 million views on a video and the rest of your videos are nothing. There's nothing on them, and it's just because that one had hit some kind of trend or some kind of algorithm at the time, or a something that was popular at the time. And sometimes nowadays I feel like it feels like in order to really grow like hardcore, if you really that's what you're all about, you have to be to the times. You have to be talking or discussing or doing videos on things that are current, and just keep going with that, because that's going to get you that constant like trend. And that's why we see dramatic people and other things getting big and getting a lot of stuff, because they're basically putting their eggs in the basket of drama and this, and that's always constant. And if you're talking about the newest latest thing, then that's going to draw people in and be like, oh yeah, Tom Cruise is being talked about. Search Tom Cruise on YouTube. Oh, look at this guy, he did a reaction to this, or look at this guy, he did that. And I think that's like, if anybody's really wanting to do that and go for the numbers game, you just got to go with what's current, because it's just that's what's going to get you in that algorithm.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd say either current, which I think was always a thing. Like I noticed when I used to do reviews more consistently, if I put out a review after a game came out a day or two ago, a lot of views. If I took a week, okay, views. If I took more than a week, and you're lucky, it hit 1,000 views. And so I think that matters. And also, like you said, it's the negativity in any fan base, whether it's video games, comics, movies. It's this whole section of the internet has always been dour, but now it's just like, let's thrive off it. Let's make a video about how horrible this actress is, or how terrible this game is, and how I hate the fucking words like woke and shit, drive me crazy, because the people that are making those videos don't actually believe this shit. You guys are watching this, and if you believe they actually believe this bullshit, you're getting fucking tricked, because they just use those words for you to go, oh yeah, and then they make money off you. That's how it works.
Well, they're pushing the buttons on those people, and they're pushing the buttons on the people that want to come in and defend.
Yeah,
so you get this constant flow, and it's take a look at Facebook if anybody wants a great example. I mean,
it's basically Facebook YouTube edition, and and now it's spread a little bit into Twitter, but it's YouTube mostly is like a whole. Like I'm just like looking up, like I just want to know like what happened in that part in Last of Us, and like I just put in like Ellie does this, and then like 20 videos where it's like anti-men, anti this. I'm like, what the fuck? Like what? First, who has the time to do this shit?
Right.
And two, it's like, why? Oh yeah, because you're gonna make money off of the fucking obnoxious losers who don't do anything in life, who are just sitting there, and this is what they like. And so I think it's always been there in YouTube. I remember when I put out a review and people would attack me if it was like a certain review or whatever, but it's never been this like army like they just come in waves. It's like drones that they send out. So it's definitely a different era, but I think there's a lot of good content. I don't want to sound like some old guy who's saying there's nothing good coming out of this, because I think a lot of people get to do videos I love, like these retrospects on games where I'm like, holy shit, that happened. like this is how it was made, or I love watching horror stuff, like how Halloweens were made. I'm just like, I didn't know this actress tried to like almost got ran over in real life. Like stuff like that to me
Yeah.
is so cool.
There's great stuff on the internet, but you
Oh
got to
yeah,
dig for it.
you
You
got
really
to.
do, because it is
You gotta dig
so.
through the garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the
Yep.
other thing that's hard too is, YouTube used to be about people making stuff, but there's no doubt we have now actors doing YouTubes,
Yep.
big companies doing YouTube, so everything is just so much more. It's like what's his name? Even Jack Black has been more prominent on
Yeah.
online, and it's
Oh,
been
you mean
hilarious.
Bowser?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Bowser. And
Bowser.
it's been hilarious seeing his stuff, honestly.
Yeah. No,
Especially when
he's
you like an
fantastic.
actor and seeing more of them, like he goes crazy in his videos. And I'm pretty sure he does that as like a side project with his son, which is awesome. But you're competing now with Hollywood actors, so it's
Yeah.
just it's a tough thing. Like I said, you dig deep. If you really search, you can see a lot of hidden gems on YouTube, and that's what I still love about it.
Yeah, I still do love YouTube. I think it brings more good than bad. I just think the bad is louder now than it's ever been.
Mhm.
But like anything else, I feel like if you try to ignore it and get through it and stay positive, you usually can. Coming back to YouTube more, doing it a lot more now. It's great to just see comments where like, man, I haven't watched you since high school. Like, it's so
Yeah.
great to hear your voice. I'm just like, you know what? This was worth making just to see this guy happy, or maybe girl, I don't know. But anyway, it's just nice to kind of see people happy again. And I try to keep my videos very uplifting, fun, and I think that's the way to go. And either happy, uplifting, or genuine, I think is the way to go. And like you said, make videos you have fun. I think, Chris, you were saying like this is what you have fun doing now.
Yep.
And that's what makes the videos fun. And since you have fun doing it, people watch. Like that's the key to it. And even if they don't watch, at least you had fun making the video. Who cares?
Yep.
And so yeah, it's getting a little late because I have to leave soon. But I do say it's nice to see everybody kind of doing their own thing still, even if it's something different. I think that's great that you actually do focus on mental health, Justin. I think people don't talk about that. People don't really, just it's getting better, but instead of just being like, just ignore the comments. Why ignore them? How about stop them? Like, why do we have to make people feel like shit? Why do we have to ignore that? No, let's not get to that point. And Chris, I mean, you bring entertainment, obviously. Again, those views, people love watching you. I was dying last night watching that video. I was at work just laughing because your reaction is like, what are you doing? But yeah, I think those are the YouTube videos I watch. Those are the Twitter comments I like to see. I almost never see you type anything negative, Justin. It's always, even a game you don't like, you're like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'm just like, okay, that's as nice as you're gonna get, unless it's damnation.
Good contrast.
Yes, unless it's damnation or bye bye man.
Yeah, and and Robbie, I mean,
shout-outs.
I think you being in a better part in your life and better state. I think us doing videos again, the game of the year, has been so much fun, and you guys, the community, have come back and told us, or at least you're watching. It's like some of my most watched videos. So thank you. And yeah, so anything you guys want to say goodbye or talk to people and tell them how much you love them, whatever you want to say.
If I could just say, Justin, that is very admirable about your advocacy on mental health. I think for me too, I suffer from an anxiety disorder and depression as well. So, I'm definitely right in the same boat with you, that I feel that should be more advocated. So that's why I love like big time actors and actresses and big, names in Hollywood that advocate for that stuff, because I think that is becoming more known in society today. And I think that is one of the better things in society. It should be taken notice. So I think that's fantastic. And I think the other thing too is, Justin, I know you're not really into YouTube anymore. James, I know you and Crystal are. But I think for me, just, doing the videos with you again, even though I do not have a YouTube account, it's just been a lot of fun. And I don't care about how many views we get. I don't care about, the quality of it, because it's more just like it's a lot of fun and I enjoy doing it. And who knows, maybe this will lead me to somewhere doing YouTube videos again or whatnot. But it's just something I have a lot of fun doing. And just, seeing those comments, like I think I saw one guy that said, "Oh, I love seeing you guys having so much nostalgia, for these, games 10 years ago. Like, I can't wait for part 3. Just hearing stuff like that, this makes it worth it. And, and I have fun doing it. So to me, it's like, it doesn't matter. But and just personally, I've grown a lot as a person. And, I think gaming is in a good place. And, there's definitely some disadvantages to it. And there's definitely some stuff that's not great, but overall, I still have a huge love for it, and it allowed me to meet you guys. So I don't have complaints over the past 12 years. Good experiences and bad. It's all worth it.
Yeah, and I do want to say one thing that YouTube did really, all of you guys I met through YouTube, all three of you. And then we became friends. And that to me is kind of the best thing about gaming or YouTube, is that you can meet people that live all the way on the other side of the country, and you stay friends with them after that. You just talk about shit. Everybody here,
Absolutely.
Justin, daughter, I have a daughter. Chris is still doing whatever. Just playing. But no, I'm saying, like, we still
Probably
talk.
have a couple illegitimate ones out there somewhere.
I feel like we're gonna get canceled on this shit. But yeah, no, it is great to be able to just talk again, or even just talk whenever. And I think YouTube did bring us together in that sense and make fun videos that people enjoyed. And yeah, this was a lot of fun to get together. We got to do some videos again. Maybe we'll all do like the top worst games, because that's what we're doing after the best. Maybe we'll all get together, because there's a lot of shitty games that Damnation and all the other ones. But
and I play a lot of shitty games, so I'm
yeah, so
down.
you'll be
I do too. I try to play shitty games. Yeah.
and you'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, that game, yeah, Barbie 2.
Oh, yeah.
I played that.
Oh yeah, the Ghostbusters 2016 video game, of course.
It was in 2016. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's when the movie came out.
Oh man. But yeah, so that's all I have to say. If you guys want to say anything else before we close out here.
I would just like to say I would love if we get together again for more reason. A possibility if our schedules don't conflict with each other. I'd be down, for a worse series or whatnot. I think this was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm totally down for sure.
Sweet. Justin's like, I don't know, man. I got like 100 things to do right now.
Yeah.
No, actually,
He's
I
on
was
the
actually
clock.
I was actually gonna say that as my closing statement, that this has been a lot of fun. Memories have been flooding back. It's as much as fun as this is, it's also been kind of a little bit of emotional, because it does bring me back, and it's just great to see everybody doing well, doing good, whether you changed a lot, changed a little, liked Bye Bye Man, didn't like Bye Bye Man, you're in production of Bye Bye Man 2. So and that's not even a game, so I don't even know why you keep talking about
Just
it.
keep
Whatever.
going back to Bye Bye.
He hasn't seen it, obviously.
I've seen the movie. But yeah, just thank you guys. It's I know I haven't talked to all you all the time, but I keep seeing you guys on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I'm a lurker a lot of times these days, but I would love to be on the show again at some point and doing discussions. I do still enjoy it, and you guys make it all even better. So
all right, that was nice send off, so I'm not going to ruin that. So
yeah, me neither.
You ruined it. You said so. All
Sorry.
right, guys, thank you for joining us. If you have any comments, leave them below. And you guys all have a good day. Remember to like, subscribe.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Right there.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell. I'm not editing in a bell or anything.
Go watch Bye Bye Man.
Fucking
There you go.
bye bye woman. Be respectful.
Bye Bye Woman.
Go see